What's up, guys and gals, and welcome to Veve Vibes. And in this video, I'm looking to have a little bit of fun. I actually got a large amount of support and great feedback based on my video talking about comics and the art covers and all that kind of stuff. So I'm still going to be doing market updates, but today I wanted to talk about the 10 FAs that you probably forgot about that are all under 20 gems. So again, these are FA characters that are under 20 gems right now. I think I might make a video later where it's like FAs you forgot about between 20 and like 100 gems or something like that, but I wanted to keep it relatively cheap, or else also we're also getting to the point now where there's just so many collectibles in the app. There's not an easy way to like filter out just the FAs or on either on the website or even some third-party websites. So even this video took me a little bit of time to do, but it's pretty easy to do, especially on my NFT tracker. So again, some of these ones, I did have to lump like multiple characters together, maybe in like a similar set, but at the end of the day, it's still like 10 characters with a few honorable mentions. I will say this, there are no like unicornos, mermicornos, cryptkins, labbits, serial killers, no like independent artist stuff, because technically like most of the stuff is like FA and they're not like super popular in real life. I'm kind of focusing on FA characters that I do think will cost more, like in a bull run, or at least people realize who these characters are in certain communities and like groups and stuff like that. And on top of that, they're just, you know, a lot of them, to be honest, are season one. And so I'm actually going to go like in chronological order from like when they released, like way back in the day all the way to now. So I have 10 of them, as well as some other ones as well. So we'll jump into it. First one is actually Jake the dog. So this one actually, like, you know, and when I made this video, I was kind of thinking about, all right, what are some like FA characters that like no one has really talked about in like 4 or 5 months, maybe even like 6 months? Like, when's the last time someone brought up Jake the dog in like a YouTube video in Spaces or whatever, or you know, that kind of stuff. So I think also this whole set as well. So that also includes, it's kind of hard to see, but Finn Mertens and Jake the dog right now are both under 20 gems right now, actually below box price. Way back in the day, Jake the dog was actually going for 15 gems in the store, and Finn Mertens was going for 13 gems, and now he's worth 12. So those are actually two characters that are both season one, very, very early VV drops that are both well below 20 gems right now. So if you want to check it, you know, check them out. Another thing I would suggest too, and in this video, I'm not saying you should buy these. To be honest, I think all these could go lower. I do think VV collectibles in general are going to go a bit lower for the next, I think, through Christmas, because I do think when 14 Days of Veve gets announced, it sounds like it's a long time away, but it's like less than 2 months away at this point. When that happens, the market also just typically just takes a huge dip. So I do think you could pick these up potentially even cheaper than they are now. So not saying to buy these right now, but there's a little, if you're on the web app online, like on your computer, there's a little, looks like a little bookmark icon right there. These are things I'm looking at. Even right now, I still don't think I own a Finn Mertens. I still don't own a Jake the dog. I do want to buy them eventually, but I do think I can get them cheaper. So right now I'm just like keeping my eye on them. The next one is Batman Who Laughs. And this also goes in conjunction too with Robin. Obviously these other two Batmans are not FAs, but I would think someone's probably brought up Batman Who Laughs pretty recently, but in general, like, I do think these are collectibles that people like overlook. So right now, Batman Who Laughs is just under 20 gems, and Robin, I believe, is at 16 gems. And so these are both first appearances of both Robin and Batman Who Laughs. And I think the Batman Who Laughs is a bit unique because, you know, everyone thinks of Todd, obviously, as the first appearance Batman, but this is like another Batman, but like a different version of him, like an alternate reality version or whatever. It's also first appearance as well. So like, there's as of right now, technically there's like 2 first appearance Batmans. There's this one and there's Todd. That's kind of it at the end of the day. So basically this one's like a Robin and Batman Who Laughs, I would say, are FAs here. So that's number 2. Number 3 is Catwoman, and really all of these except for Supergirl. Right now she's well above 20 gems. I'm not sure how high, but I know Mira, Catwoman, and Batgirl are all under 20 gems right now. Again, this whole list is about like, when was the last time someone actually brought up Catwoman or Batgirl or Mira as like first appearances and things you should kind of grab now while you can, right? Again, I do think all these could get a bit cheaper, but looking at Catwoman, Batgirl right now is less than 9 gems right now, and then Mira, I think, is in that same realm, yeah, under 14 gems right now. So again, you can almost like complete this whole set, or at least grab all 3 of these ladies, on the ones that are rare and below, you know, all together 25 gems. You can grab all 3 of these, so not bad at all. Number 4 is actually 2 of them. Again, I know I'm kind of clustering some of these together, but it's both Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, again, first appearance Spider-Man. I do think it's been a while since people have talked about Zombie Hunter. A lot of people have talked about Ben Reilly, Miles Morales, the classic Peter Parker Spider-Man, but no one's really talked about like Spider Hunter Spider-Man. I think a lot of people are forgetting that this is still an FA. Again, a lot of the mints, I mean, a lot of the stuff I brought up in general just have a ton of mints. I mean, we're talking the common here. Obviously, the ultra rares much more than 20 gems, but there's, you know, 18,000 mints of Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. So that's part of the reason why it's so cheap, under 10 gems right now, but just another one to kind of keep an eye out on. And I kind of clustered this with Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, which is, you know, obviously there's Captain America. People talk about Captain America first appearance, or in this case, Steve Rogers, every so often. I would say every couple months. Seems like someone brings up a Captain America, which is why Steve Rogers didn't make the list. I do feel like it's talked about enough where people are like, oh yeah, we talked about that a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago. But like Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, or like basically zombie Captain America, I feel like it's been quite some time since someone's actually brought him up. And right now he's going for less than 7 gems, and again 18,000 editions on zombie Captain America. The next one is Jafar. So Jafar, actually you could pick up this whole set for like less than 25 gems. Jafar is the most expensive one of the 4, and he's only going for he's going for less than 12 gems right now. And I think these other ones are going for like less than 4 or 5 right now, so you can pretty much pick up the whole set for less than 25. Obviously with the Aladdin drop getting announced, I almost did not put this on the list because I'm like, well, probably people are thinking about the genie lamp at Jafar and all that stuff. But so far the price of Jafar has not gone up. I looked on a couple different sites like my NFT tracker, and like, you know, we had an Aladdin announced just the other day, and this price hasn't moved at all. Actually, it kept going down, so I'm kind of surprised that this hasn't moved at all. But again, at the end of the day, it's first appearance. That's what matters. It doesn't matter if it looks like a Lego toy or a high def version of a 3D model of a character. Like, this is still first appearance, right? Them and all these characters down below. The other one, actually, I didn't mean to put this one. We'll go ahead and jump into honorable mentions. Anyway, so that was number 5. So right now we're just jumping to honorable mentions. I meant to actually take this off, but I would say T-Rex. I do think I see T-Rex enough on Twitter or X now. Enough to know. I think people do think about at least the T-Rex at least like once a month and talk about it, how cool it looks in the AR and the Veve verse and all that stuff. Another one I think that a lot of people forget about is Storm. I know there's been some talks about X-Men and Wolverine and all that stuff happening, so maybe Storm is talked about enough, or just X-Men in general, where I think some people might have picked her up. But I do think the rare, common, and uncommon are all below 20 gems right now. Also Black Panther. I think Black Panther and Moon Knight all kind of fall under that category, where pretty much all the rares and below are less than 20 gems. No one's really talked about Black Panther a ton seriously, maybe because the movie happened a long time ago, and now we have new Marvel movies out, so people kind of forgot about that. What are some of the other ones? Yeah, the T-Rex, the Raptors. I would say Voltron. And again, this is on the honorable mentions list just because, like, I think with all the talk about oh my gosh, localization with like Japan and anime, coming on board. So it's like, I do feel like people have kind of already circled back around and look at some of the Voltron drops, either whether it's the Lions or whether it's these like defense mode, battle mode, Atlas mode, those kind of NFTs. I think people have already kind of circled back and started buying those over the last couple months. So that's why I made the honorable mentions list. And then again, like Woody, I was going to put Woody on this list, but I'm like, well, there was the Woody poster pretty recently, and there's also like Lightning McQueen, but then kind of the Up House got pretty popular because of the whole Veveverse thing and how cool the balloons look. So I think there's already been some attention around Woody pretty recently, where I think people have at least thought about him recently. This list is mostly about collectibles where it's like, man, it's been like 4, 5, 6+ months since I even thought about this collectible. So those are the honorable mentions. Number 6 is Boba Fett. Actually, I can just tap here. Is Boba Fett. Right now it shows the ultra rare here, but both the common and uncommon I think right now are like 10 and 11 gems or so, and right now the ultra rare is going for under 55. So technically you could buy the whole set. You can get the whole Boba Fett set for about 70 gems right now, maybe a little bit more, maybe 75 gems right now, where you can just pretty much just get the whole set. So I do think Boba Fett is getting slightly slept on. I do know the edition numbers are pretty darn high for both the common and uncommon for its time period, but I remember this drop happened over a year ago. I mean, this was a year and 2 or 3 months by now. So back then, market was a bit different. The whole landscape is a bit different, but I do think people are sleeping on Boba Fett. This one's actually a 2-for-1. Actually, I forget I can keep pressing tab. Is Doc Ock. Again, another very, very classic Spider-Man villain. This is the uncommon version. Obviously, there's the Marvel Metallic Red, which Veve has yet to make an announcement about anything with the whole Metallic Red series. This drop happened a little over a year ago and nothing's been announced. So at this point, I'm kind of assuming Marvel's gotten rid of it, or we might get some random announcement sometime soon. And then the secret rare Doc Ock, obviously that's significantly more than 20 gems. But one thing that's interesting about Doc Ock is that this has 2,528 burned editions. So there's about 7,600 total, but there's also 2,500 that got like burned. So obviously the mint numbers are much lower, so a little bit closer to about 5,000 flat versus the 7,600. So there's actually quite a few burned editions that people use, including myself, for the Gauntlet. So that's actually why I actually really like Doc Ock, and a lot of people are sleeping on it. And in addition to that, also Mysterio too. The rare looks really good. Another pretty classic SpiderMan villain. Obviously the ultra rare is much more than 20 gems, but I do think people are kind of sleeping on this, and especially since this only has 3,000 gems and 5,000 and 536 editions burned. I mean, there's only 2,500 of these then in circulation. Actually, it says right there, 2464 editions in circulation. And I don't think that includes the ones that Veve holds back, so it's even lower than that. So I do think both Doc Ock and Mysterio are good spots there at number 7. Number 8 is Chucky. Now, of course, David Yu, there's the whole meme with Chucky and David Yu and all that kind of stuff. So that's the main reason why I threw it in there. I mostly think just because, I mean, I'm not a huge Chucky fan, but I think a lot of people at least know of Chucky. As of right now, he's still in the store, which is why it's showing like view details. But if we just type in Chucky here, we just look at this ultra rare edition. Right now it's trading for 13 gems on the market. So yeah, if you want to pick up Chucky for relatively cheap, I feel like if you put him in your showroom or whatever, most people are going to know who Chucky is. And whether you just want to buy it because you enjoy it or you want to freak people out, or just because David Yu likes it, Chucky's going for pretty cheap right now as well. This one, number 9, Alice in Wonderland. I will say this is, I almost forgot this actually dropped on the app, and this wasn't long ago. I mean, this was in January, so about, gosh, like 9 months ago at this point. Yeah, Alice in Wonderland. Like, this thing only has 2,357 editions, so actually pretty darn low. I think it's barely under 20 gems. Yeah, there's like 1850, and there's like 2 listings for 20 right now, but right now she's barely under 20 gems. First appearance, whether you just like Alice in Wonderland or you like Disney in general, or people typically reference the whole Alice in Wonderland thing that are into like psychedelics and that kind of stuff. So I think people might buy it just for that, just, you know, just for that alone. So again, first appearance of Alice, under 20 gems. I think this is one that a lot of people forgot about, including myself. So when I was kind of going through the list, I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot Alice. Now she's not the most popular character to me. I'm still kind of slowly stacking like comics, waiting for big Marvel drops like Wolverine and stuff like that. So again, these are just things to, you know, apply a bookmark to and maybe revisit a few months from now, or you can buy it now if you want. It's totally up to you. Again, none of this is financial advice. Now this last one, this one I completely forgot was on the app for the longest time, maybe because it kind of has like a bigger brother that a lot of people talk about, but this one actually dropped this year, I believe. I would have to double check once we actually jump to it, but this one I think a lot of people forgot, including myself, which is actually Oswald. This is the rare version. I think everyone always thinks about, obviously, the 2 secret rares here at the bottom. Those are both much higher than 20 gems, but right now the rare, first appearance of Oswald, so just shy of 5,000 gems on this drop. But I still think it's still a pretty significant figure. I think people that are huge Disney fans out there obviously know about Oswald, and right now he's trading for about 17 gems. And I think there's actually a pretty decent wall. Actually, it's a very thin floor. There's only 3 or 4 at 20 gems, or 5 about 21 gems. So right now, yeah, if you wanted to pick up a first appearance of Oswald, you can do that. Let me pull him up again. And I completely forgot about it. I'm like, man, I totally forgot this drop even happened, because everyone talks about Steamboat Willie. There's more Disney drops and all that kind of stuff kind of happened. So I feel like there was a lot of hype around this after the announcement, and for about 2 or 3 weeks after the drop, then it kind of just died out. No one really talked about Oswald ever again. So this is like my number 10, or like my top spot that I think a lot of people just forgot about, including myself. So yep, so those are my top 10 first appearance characters that you forgot about under 20 gems. I'll probably make another video for collectibles that are between 20 to 100 gems, top 10 FAs you forgot about. And again, I'm not saying to buy these, I'm just saying, hey, keep a close eye on them, and in case you forgot. It's still interesting how whenever I watch a video or listen to Spaces, someone brings up like a random collectible, and I'm like, man, I haven't thought about that collectible in like 6 months. And so it's really interesting kind of hearing about those collectibles. So yeah, if there's any collectibles you think I forgot about under 20 gems that are significant FAs that you think people completely forgot about, that put them down in the comments below. I'll catch you guys next time. Be safe, and make sure to double and triple check all of your listings so you don't screw yourself over. Take care.